Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the House of Faith and Fashion. I'm your host, Toby Rubenstein, best-selling author of These Two Babies, The House of Faith and Fashion and Houghton Holy. And today I have a very special episode for all you visitors out there. I am being visited by the one and only Natalia Fedner. Oh, she's so talented. She figured out how to fuse jewelry and fabric together, and she's on every hot celebrity there is. Every time I go to her Instagram page, she is dressing Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. I don't even know, Katy Perry, everybody. I don't even know how she does it. But right now, get ready for my hallelujah fashion moment. And if you've been watching this show, it comes as no surprise to you that the demure look is really taking over. Listen, it's all over TikTok. I don't even know how it really started, this mindful and demure, but I'm going to interpret this as being modest. And of course, I even put on my bow shirt today from Kobe Halpern and my wonderful coat from Simkai. But listen, I am a big advocate of modest fashion because I think, hey, everybody should look like Kate Middleton. But last season, we had the owner of the fastest growing modest fashion line, House of Lancre from London. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it demure. You can call it conservative, which is totally not conservative, but it is modest. But I've got to tell you, it is a major fashion category and slotted to do $375 billion worth of business coming in 2025. Now, I know this is a little bit of a flip and a contrast because Natalia is not very well known for being anyway demure or mindful, but her stuff is so wow. She pushes the boundaries in the fashion industry with her innovative haute couture designs. And like I said, I don't know what designer, I don't know what superstar is not wearing her fantastic designs. And really, I mean, they're outstanding. And I know once you meet her and know all about her, you're going to know, oh, I saw that on Beyonce. Yeah, you definitely saw it on Beyonce.
Recent congressional testimony of 3 elite university presidents who could not condemn the genocide of the Jewish people only exacerbates the view that higher education is not doing what it's supposed to do for this country. Based on the Catholic intellectual tradition, at St. Thomas University, we don't tell you what to think, we teach you how to think. So if you want to learn how to think for yourself, think critically, and be educated to become an ethical leader for the global community, STU is for you.
So welcome back to the House of Faith and Fashion, and please give a warm welcome to Natalia Fedner.
Hi, Toby. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Did you like that introduction? I don't even know how to do you justice. You're so talented, and you're on so many superstars that actually it's not even kind. It's the truth. How do you keep track of all these celebrities that you dress? And go ahead and name them all, because I'm sure I forgot 100 of them. I just named Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, and Katy Perry. I mean, you know,
oh my gosh.
Than
I
that,
don't know if I
go
can
ahead, go.
No, I mean, I don't know if I can keep track of them. Honestly, I'm very forward facing. And so I'm just always on to the next project. Sometimes, especially during very busy periods, I don't even register what happened until 6 months later. So I have this little book. I keep it in the office and it's on my website, which is like my celebrity portfolio. And sometimes I flip through it and I go, oh my God, I did dress Janet Jackson. Like, whoa, like, you know, Cher is in there, and all sorts of incredible people like Lenny Kravitz. Who else do I mean, of course, like you said, there's Beyonce, there's J-Lo and Shakira, who's someone I worked with recently. There's just a lot of my childhood idols, which is pretty incredible for me.
It is massively incredible for you. I'm first of all, I'm so proud of you. You know, I told you this privately. I really am so proud of you. But tell me, how would you label your look? Like, I'm going to say you're totally opposite from my hallelujah fashion moment, which is mindful and demure. That's why I think this is such a funny thing. I did put on my jewels. I mean, I've got
nice. I like the sparkle.
I got my Simkai jewels on, but nice. I am in awe of what you're doing. So please explain to the audience. I know what you're doing. What are you doing?
Well, so I love making things from scratch. I love to cook. I love to draw. I like to sculpt. And it's no different when it comes to my fashion design. I love the ability to make the textile and then make the garment. It gives you the ultimate sense of control. And so I've always come at design from this perspective. And so when I was studying at Parsons in New York and in Paris, I was attracted to textile design and surface design and the engineering aspects of making a fabric. And all of that sort of brewed in my head for years and years. And I incorporated a lot of those techniques. And when I was starting my brand, I went through this whole experimentation phase. And part of the results of that experimentation was this metal textile. When I made this, I honestly,
it's gorgeous. I mean, you can't even get the gist from the camera. It's just, you really, I'm really like aghast because I said to you, I think this is like you're channeling Cleopatra for what she probably wore in her aesthetic, because it's just so beautiful. So how did you come up with this idea? And were you trained to weave or what?
So my mom taught me how to knit when I was pretty young. And then when I was in high school, I took some classes at Columbus College of Art and Design, and I learned to weave. And then my mom taught me how to crochet. And then when I went to Parsons, I studied all sorts of different techniques, from batik to surface design to different looms and tools and machines that you can use to make textiles. So I do have a background in it for sure.
I would definitely say so. And your background started with your mom, who gave you a great foundation to be able to come up with this. Listen, I just want to know, how did this transition from this wonderful way of weaving fabric into these designs and then onto your clientele? What's the path of Natalia?
Oh, whew. That's a whole lot. That's a big question, Toby.
I know. Break it down. Take whatever part you want.
I'll try to break it down. I'm very talkative, so I'll try to keep it simple.
No, don't. We don't keep it simple on this show. Talk. Go ahead.
Okay. So I started my line when I was 30. And when I was starting it out, I had the incredible fortune of meeting a tailor in Los Angeles named Ludmila Tomaszewska. And she actually helped me make my first collection, which was very different than what you see today, but it was my first collection. She helped me make it in exchange for me designing her website. At the time, I had a background in website design, and I didn't have much money, but I had skills. And so we exchanged services, and we got to know each other through the process, and we just really bonded. And she was famous in Hollywood for doing a lot of alterations for big celebrities like Christina Aguilera and Kim Kardashian. And so when I finished my collection, she sort of acted like I like to joke that she's my fairy god sister. And I came to her and I was like, look, all of my fashion connections are in New York. I really don't know people here in LA. Can you please help me? So she pointed me to this incredible Israeli photographer who I did my first photo shoot with. And those photos were just stunning in black and white and very dramatic. And then I did the photos and I was like, okay, Ludmila, I did the photos, but I really need to get these out there into the world. And she's like, sit down at my computer, just attach the photos, type what you want to say, and I'm going to fill in the 2-part of the email, like the stylist. We're going to send it to some stylists. So I put together this email, and she sent it to Kim Kardashian's stylist, Beyonce's stylist, Shakira's stylist at the time. And it was a really kind gesture. She was giving me access to her network, which is everything when you're starting out, especially in a town like Los Angeles. Yes. And within a day, I had responses, and within a couple of days, those big celebrities were pulling my garments. So I always like to say and credit Ludmila for that jump off point, because without that, I think it would have taken much longer to get to where I've gotten to. And also, it's a reflection of something I really value and believe in, which is that kindness can get you further than almost anything else. And I have to add that, of course, the technical skills, the years of studying, all the internships, all the years and years before that prepared me for that, so that once the
Yes.
celebrities were excited about me and their teams and stylists were asking me for the garments, I was ready to deliver. I think that's a big part of the equation. Hustle is super important, but you have to have something to back up the hustle. So it's like
Exactly.
it's a part equation.
Right. There's no such thing as an overnight sensation. It takes
Oh my gosh, no.
No, it takes
Not at
10 to
all.
20 years to be the overnight. I totally get you. But
Yep.
tell me, do you have a favorite look or favorite celebrity that you like to say, oh my God, she's my favorite, or
Well,
he's my
casting
favorite? Because I know you do both male and female. I know that you do everybody. Lenny Kravitz. I have to digest this. Okay.
I mean, honestly, it's like telling me to pick between my babies. Uh, you know,
Oh, okay. Well, is there anyone that you haven't dressed yet that you want to? Shout it out now.
I have not dressed Lady Gaga. I have been wanting to dress her. I have had my garments in her vicinity. Her team has borrowed things, but the placements have not occurred yet. And also a big one for me is Madonna. I just love that woman. And I have dressed her daughter. I've dressed Lola. But I haven't quite had a Madonna moment yet. So, and Rihanna. So like I have some big ladies out there.
Oh, okay. So listen, Rihanna, Madonna, and Lady Gaga, if you happen to be watching my show, which would be good enough for me, but if you're watching, yes, I love you also, but you got to go to Natalia.
I do want to answer your question, Toby. I have really enjoyed working with Lenny Kravitz. He is as delightful as you think he is. He is as charming and mindful and just a really great human being. He makes everybody in the room feel special. So he's probably one of my favorite people to work with. I really also enjoy Megan Thee Stallion a lot. I found her to be just really real and grounded and just so fun. And the truth is, I don't get to meet every single celebrity I work with, so my answer to this question is limited by my personal experiences. A lot of the times, like someone like J-Lo, I've never met her. I've worked with her team. So, sometimes the team can be everything.
I think that's why so many celebrities gravitate towards you, because I think you have a little piece of Natalia in every single piece, and that's very attractive. So thank you so much for being here. Can you tell everybody where to find you, just in case they either launch their own entertainment career, become a movie star, or just want to dress like one? Where are they going to find you?
Please visit me on Instagram. That's the best way to interact with me, Natalia Fedner. And of course, my website, nataliafedner.com, if you'd want to go shopping. There's a lot of fun things out there. And don't be scared by the price points. We have incredible jewelry that I just started making that are a lot more demurely priced.
Demurely priced. Very expensive, by the way. Demurely, that's so cute. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really, really enjoyed this conversation. I hope that all the people that are visiting the House of Faith and Fashion today enjoyed this. Listen, Natalia, my blessing to you is that Lady Gaga, Madonna, and Rihanna, they're going to be wearing your clothes. I just know it. I'm sending blessings out to you. And if these guys are watching, get her stuff.
So, Toby, how does your skin stay so fabulous on the set of the House of Faith and Fashion?
I finished filming season 2 premiere of the House of Faith and Fashion for Connect Network TV. And I have to tell you, I wouldn't have this kind of skin for all the stuff that I've been through without Gleam. Seriously, I would not have this skin without Gleam. Thank you, Marlene.
Gleam Beauty Skincare, changing lives one face at a time.
Welcome back to the House of Faith and Fashion. Right now, I'm being joined by doctor and endocrinologist specialist, Dr. Stuart Seigel from Telemed to You. Welcome, Dr. Stuart, and thank you for visiting the House of Faith and Fashion.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is really exciting because I believe that you can look fashionable on the outside, but if you're not taking care of yourself, no outfit is really going to help you. So right now you work at Telemed to You, which is a virtual medical team. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so Telemed to You. So basically, we are a company that is all about improving access to care, right? So there's people that live in rural areas. There's people who, maybe depending on the insurance company that they have or lack of insurance, that it's really hard to get care, when you need it. And so, and we provide specialty care. So we're different in that sense that we're all medical specialists. So we're not primary care, we're medical specialty. And we have all the different medical specialists. And so really it's just about saying, hey, you know what, we have a platform, we can see patients, far and wide, and really get them the care that they need no matter where they are.
That's great. So, what are you already told me what the benefits are, but maybe you could hold in some more benefits to being virtual medical care as opposed to going straight to your doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that virtual care is just incredibly convenient, right? So, I mean, when I think about, for example, my experiences seeing a doctor in person, I mean, you really have to take off work, right? So you take off work, you get in the car, you drive, you wait, and it takes like half a day just to see a doctor for maybe 15, 20 minutes. And so what we do is we provide care and where the patient is at, right? And so we people usually don't have to take off work to see us. They can see us, and it fits into their life, and that is what I think is so critical about telemedicine for our patients. And it's really and I can see that because I can see, I mean, the show rates that we have when we see patients, the number of patients that we see. I mean, it's just they really do kind of love this way of seeing us. And I think it's just because they can actually do it. I mean, I've met many patients who have multiple jobs, and if we didn't offer virtual, they would never have been able to see us in the first place.
That's great. But can you tell us more about what the multi-conditional care that you have, multidisciplinary care that you have?
Absolutely.
Explain more that what that means.
Yeah, yeah. So telemed to you. So if we kind of take a bird's eye view, telemed to you has multiple different medical specialties, right? So it has endocrinologists, right? Has infectious disease and gastroenterology and rheumatology and neurology. But if we then focus more in on endocrinology, even within endocrinology, we have a multidisciplinary care team, right? So we don't just have the endocrinologists who are experts in obviously endocrine conditions, even diabetes, but we also have nutritionists, and we have diabetes educators, and we even have behavioral health. Did you know that people with diabetes have twice the risk of having depression than people without diabetes? And so we really provide the key support structure for patients with chronic conditions.
So, what type of care would you say that you absolutely specialize in?
Me personally, it's endocrine. So what does that mean? Because I think I see a lot of
Yeah,
patients like
exactly.
endocrinologist. What is that? And so endocrinologist is an internal medicine doctor who subspecialized, so additional training in basically in conditions of basically hormone glands, right? So you have the pituitary, which is the master endocrine gland of the body. You have the thyroid, which regulates metabolism. You have the adrenal gland, which is kind of like the support structure of the body. And then you have diabetes, calcium disorders, osteoporosis. So those are kind of the bread and butter of the things that we see. Absolutely.
Well, so this falls under the big disease of diabetes, which is, I would say it's in fashion now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, how much of an issue is diabetes in the US?
Yeah, I mean, diabetes really affects about 10%. So if you could imagine, there's more than 300 million people. That's 30 million people with diabetes, and it is definitely, from a management perspective, it's a very challenging disease, right? So you can imagine there's that many people who have such a challenging condition. Uh-huh.
Well, how do you treat endocrinology via telehealth and that you make it so not scary to people?
Yeah, I mean, I think you actually bring up a very good point, is that a lot of people are nervous to see doctors, especially when, with conditions such as diabetes, right? There's a lot of kind of, negative social stigma, kind of shame surrounding having diabetes. And people are afraid that they're going to go to the doctor and the doctor's just going to yell at them as opposed to provide support, right? And I think that there's kind of multiple, it's kind of a multi-prong approach to improving and because I believe that access to care isn't just, hey, you can see the doctor. It's also providing an environment that's judgment free, that's safe for the patient. That creates access to care, because if you don't do that, the patients aren't really going to come back, because why would they want to? So our team is absolutely in tune with judgment free zone. I think many members of our team have been touched by diabetes personally in their family or with their friends or even themselves. And so, we really have an amazing team of support. And so not only do we have kind of the judgment-free zone, really supportive, compassionate, clinicians, but we also make the process super easy, right? So if you could imagine, when you see a doctor, you go to the waiting room, you get checked in, and then you get roomed, and then the doctor comes in. It's the exact same process. So we try to
Mhm.
make it feel familiar to the person, even though in a way it's kind of like an endocrinologist in the cloud, right? And so people come in, they get checked in by somebody who checks them into the room. They get the usual history, and then they get
Right.
put into our room, and then we accept them and we see them. And so it's a very smooth process. And what's interesting is actually just the other day, I had a patient and he was skeptical. He was like, "Well, I don't know. Maybe I want to see in person." And then afterwards, one of the medical assistants, when I basically sent him back to then get scheduled for follow up, he said that this is better than in person. And I think that those are the kind of results that we see with patients, because it's just you know I think also, in addition, people really feel comfortable because oftentimes we're seeing them in their home. And so it's not in this office where it's white walls and these silly pictures up on the walls, and really just this kind of like dry environment. It's We're seeing them there. Sometimes they have their cat in their lap, and I think I think it's a comforting way to do it.
I was just going to say that. I mean, I'm having a conversation with you and I already feel comfortable. So I can imagine what your patients must feel like. But what you're doing is you're taking a lot of the anxiety out of going to the doctor. And a waiting room could also be it's too big, it's too many noises, there's too many other people there. You don't feel comfortable, and you're bringing personal care, and then I see that you can develop a relationship with your doctor a lot better this way than actually going into the office. So I really, I'm enjoying this conversation. And so I
Yeah,
can imagine what your patients must feel like. So
yeah, absolutely.
it's National Diabetes Month and the holidays are here. So what advice can you give to prevent some of these conditions, or at least keep their conditions under control?
Yeah, I mean, I think you actually bring up a very good point, because a lot of people with diabetes, they feel, holidays, I can't partake in anything enjoyable. And, because I have diabetes, I just have to limit myself all the time and restrict, restrict, restrict. But I don't believe that that's true. And the reason is because, we actually kind of promote a very balanced nutrition approach, because there's multiple reasons for that. One, it works physiologically, people's blood sugars are in balance.
Mhm.
Two, it's not restrictive, right? So people feel free. They don't feel that, oh, because I have diabetes, I can't live my life. And
Right.
then, and I think that, when I think that everybody, diabetes or not, it's all about balance, right? And so I think if you can maintain a reasonable balance, that'll help with preventing diabetes and treating and also managing diabetes. Absolutely.
Well, those are three unbelievable modules to treating this disease. But let's talk insurance, because that's another scary part.
Absolutely.
How do you do that with setting up appointments, referrals? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so there's a very special program that we offer, where we actually call it the Diabetes Care Program. And really the point of it is that so there's unfettered access to us. So anybody who has diabetes can see us. And because, I personally, I believe I'm licensed in 46 states, right? So anybody in those states, they have diabetes and they want to get care with us. They can just go online, and sign up for an appointment. We reach out and get them scheduled. But what's special about this is that it's all about, you know kind of like being on the journey with the clinician. So with me, for example, if somebody sees me, I'm on the journey with them, right? So we see them, as usual. They have access to a diabetes educator. They see me, telemed. But then in between visits, we're monitoring their data, because they have continuous glucose monitors. That data goes through the cloud into our portal. So we're actually monitoring, and we're providing support continuously, because this is not, hey, here's the meds. Let's say it's somebody who has type 1 diabetes on insulin. Hey, here's your insulin injections, figure it out. This is a
Mhm.
very challenging thing to manage, right? So we need continuous support, and things change in life over time. So many things can impact blood sugars, like stress, illness, menstrual cycles, hormone changes.
Right.
Just getting a cold can make the blood sugars go pretty extreme, or getting injections into your joints, steroids, that kind of stuff. And so, we can monitor the patient, and provide continuous adjustments to their medication regimen or nutrition plan. And so in the current state of healthcare, you see the doctor and then you see him back again in 3 months. But in with our program, that it's not like that. You can message directly to us, and we can message directly to you proactively, and we can make things, improve continuously. And I believe that we get, it leads to, quicker resolution of high blood sugars. It's interesting because you really build this incredible relationship with the patient above
Yes.
and beyond what you can't when you see them quarterly. And this idea kind of originated when I first started practicing endocrinology. I realized, wow, we could just do a lot better. And unfortunately, telemedicine wasn't even available at that time, obviously, but now that it is, now that we have the technology, the cloud technology where we can get that continuous data, I mean, it's really game changed. And I feel like I really know these people. I mean, it's amazing, actually.
It was great to have you on, Dr. Seigel, and I'll call for an appointment.
All right, sounds great. But hey, very good. And thanks for having me.
Take care. To all my visitors out there, the show is not over yet. I still have my own fashion doctor giving us the Fashion RX and checking in from St. Thomas University. I'll also give you some secrets to stay in animal print and always stay chic.
Few people are as generous and kind as Ivan and Abby here at the House of Suits. From the moment we met them, they felt like family. Their support has been immeasurable, providing our first male cohort with suits and also actively participating in our fashion and food showcase for the past 2 years.
We don't just sell suits. We really give people an experience. We sell an experience. The moment you come in, see set, smells great in here. We do everything by appointments. Make sure that people feel comfortable.
Clients are, they're friends. They're not just a client. They come through the door, it's like I'm welcoming in, a family member or a close friend. That's what they become to us.
That's what you came here to get. And that's what we're here to offer. Exclusivity, respect, a way of life. That's what we sell. We work hard every day to make sure this community has a place to come to, with or without money. And we treat everybody the same and we help everybody the same.
We need to make sure that every person that walks out of here with a suit, they feel like they are worth $1 million because we humans are that right. And we deserve to feel that it's important. And when you have a suit on and it's well tailored, it's well made, you feel like you can conquer the world.
We treat people just the same way that we want to be treated.
Working with Ivan and Abby in the House of Suits has been an incredible journey. Their generosity, passion, and commitment to quality has impacted our program and everyone they've touched. Stay tuned with us each week with me, Dr. Ryzicki, as I share how fashion, education, and faith are all integrated at St. Thomas University as part of the style prescription. Let fashion be your canvas and faith be your guide. God bless, and go Bobcats.
I'm so happy that you came and visited today, because Natalia is just even more delicious than I thought she was going to be. And she's just such a force. And yes, it might be the opposite of demure, but hey, demure doesn't mean have to be so completely boring. You could wear Natalia's stuff anytime. And stay tuned for another episode next week. Thank you so much for visiting with me. It's been an honor to have you in my home, the House of Faith and Fashion.